Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we can confirm that our very own Mac Black did kiss the ring of Cody Rhodes. It is Lost in the Midcard. Welcome to our Best in the World review show. And we are basically just a little over a week away from Extreme Rules on the WWE Network. I am out of town next week, so we're going to call an audible on this podcast and actually break down what we have in front of us and predict the card as we've seen it so far. So we'll do that at the end of the show for Extreme Rules. And, of course, we got all sorts of headlines and, of course, some wrestling shows to talk about. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. The links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. We also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. Lots of entertaining personalities on the Twitter. Guys like Cody Rhodes for sure. Kevin Owens. Very, very fun there. So we share those. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. Normally, I would be introducing to you my co-host on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime, Mr. Matt Black. But his allergies, I've put him on the DL. Or maybe he just doesn't want to talk about kissing the ring. But back on the show, you've heard him before. On the Twitter, at No One Like D, it is Mr. Darryl Bullock. Darryl, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I got to witness him kiss the rings, bitch.
I saw the video, and he still will not tell me what he said to Cody beforehand.
I have no clue what he said.
You couldn't hear. It was too loud in there, huh?
Yeah, the way they had the line set up, we were literally like across from the table, so I couldn't hear anything.
I think we can fit in an Extreme Rules preview here since I'm out of town. We may not even do a post show for Extreme Rules, depending on situations, because I'm just gonna get back into town the night of Extreme Rules, and if this is another get over at 10:15 my time, 11:15 your time, Darryl, I don't think I'm going to be in the mood for a damn podcast. So
like I said earlier, that's if I make it through the whole pay-per-view.
Exactly. I mean, 9 matches on the card, so almost the entire card is filled out. So we'll run that down at the end of the show for sure, and give you our predictions, and then on our next show, either following Extreme Rules on July 15th, so the next day would be the 16th, or the Wednesday after. One of those two will record our thoughts and reactions to that as well. General thoughts, Darryl. But you were in attendance with Matt at Best in the World. What were your general overall thoughts on the show?
The show was great. I didn't have any problems with the matches. We generally had a good time. Me and Matt both agreed on the ride home. Like, we enjoyed the show. It was just the outcomes of certain matches we didn't enjoy. More so the last 3 per se. Yeah. But overall, we had a great time. Just like awesome time. Matt, we were actually waiting in line to do the meet and greets, and Kerry Silkin remembered me from New Orleans, and so it was pretty cool. Quick story. We were talking to him. He remembered me, whatnot. We talking about, sitting at the bar, that and the other. And for once, Ring of Honor did not accept credit cards or debit cards at the meet and greets. They usually do.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's how I when I was in Dallas for Supercard of Honor, that's how I paid for a couple of last minute ones. Was I don't have any cash. I gotta use credit card now. I'm out of cash.
Right, and so like it's the UMBC Event Center.
Yeah.
And they say they don't take cards. So a couple of friends of mine were behind me, so we go to the ATM that's closest to the little table. Of course, the ATM runs out of money. So we're, what the hell? So Carrie walks up to us and says, hey, I think about this time Matt had bought his ticket already to meet the Young Bucks. I think he met the Young Bucks, Marty, and Cody. And Carrie Silken came up to us and said, what's wrong? I was like, they're not taking cash. And he's like, oh, well, it's another ATM down there. Something's not right. Usually we take card, blah, blah, blah. And so we went down to the other ATM, waiting in line. He came and told us, hey, let them know that you're Carrie's friends and you can walk up. The craziest thing about it was the only person I wanted to meet, only three people I wanted to meet Bushi, Sonata, and Evil. As Matt was buying his tickets, they literally put up a sign that says LIJ is signing no more autographs, be tranquila. So I was pissed. Yeah, but overall, we had a good time. Minus me not meeting LIJ. Matt finally got to meet Marty. He finally got to meet the Young Bucks, and he actually met Cody, as we talked about earlier. Kiss the ring.
I talked with Carrie a little bit in Dallas. Great guy. I tried to get him to bring Ring of Honor to Nebraska, and he's like, I don't think it's going to happen.
That's actually funny because we actually, I'm originally from D.C., but I live closer to Baltimore, and Matt does as well. And so we asked him, why don't you bring Ring of Honor to D.C.? And he's like, no, because the Athletic Commission charges too much. I don't think we'll see Ring of Honor in D.C. anytime soon because I think they said they wanted the majority of the ticket sales.
That sucks. Well, speaking of LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón kicked off the show for the World Six-Man Tag Team titles against the Kingdom. This was a great opener, I thought, and I'm sure Darryl thought it was a great opener because the Kingdom got the win after Rockstar Supernova.
I actually left Matt in the Young Bucks line and ran to my seat just so as soon as I heard the Kingdom's music.
As soon as you had that clock tick and you were like, I'm out.
Yeah, look, with one leg, I have a torn ACL right now. I sprinted and made it there in less than 10 seconds.
Nice. I'll have to rewatch Best of the World and pay a little close attention, see if I can see you at least in the Baltimore street fight. You weren't facing the camera, were you?
No. So I believe the camera was to my back. So if they zoomed in during the street fight, I'm like second row, and even if they zoomed in during Taven's during the Kingdoms match, I had a sign that said Dalton fears Taven.
And as I mentioned, with Rockstar Supernova, the Kingdom gets the win and retains the six-man tag titles. Of course, no surprise, we did not think LIJ was going to be holding those belts. Next up, Bully Ray, Flip Gordon. I love the intensity of this match to start off with Flip. Flip was just beating the shit out of Bully Ray, and it was awesome. I was a little meh at the DQ finish. Maybe we'll see what happens later on. But even though I was kind of disappointed in the DQ finish, I really enjoyed the post-match beatdowns that Bubba gave to Flip and to God, I can't remember the guy from the dojo.
I can't think of his name.
They said his name, but I can't think of it. And Cheeseburger came out, and then finally Colt Cabana comes out of commentary, says he's had enough, and stood up to Bully Ray. So Colt standing up for the young boys, so to speak. And what did you think of Bully Ray Flip Gordon?
I caught I didn't catch the beginning of the match because I was actually at the concession stand getting a beer. But when I got there, Bully had already punched his nuts off. So, it was actually great. The crowd was great when Colt came out.
You definitely want to go back and watch that because Flip's intensity, he's just beating the living fuck out of Bully Ray for a good 3 minutes. It's a great open to a match, and you kind of wondered if Bully was going to get the squash JOB there for a minute. it was just some great offense.
I actually thought it was going to be a real match, but
yeah,
for the little bit of time that they were out there, I think it was pretty fun. It was pretty nice.
I'll tell you what, there's no build-up, no story at all behind the 8 Women of Honor tag match that happened next. But coming out of this, I'm a fan of 2 of these women, like, majorly now. Mayu Iwatani and Hana Kimura were amazing in this match. It's so funny. I am not impressed with Sumi Sakai at all.
I'm not either, dude. Like, I think that's one thing we agree on. I just think she's basic. She does nothing for me.
No, I don't get why she was the first ever Woman of Honor champion.
And you would think they would have put it on Kelly Klein or Mandy Leon.
Yeah, you'd have thought. I mean, at least put it on Tennille Dashwood and give us the obvious. But I like Jenny Rose. Jenny Rose is pretty cool. The group that Japanese group from Stardom is pretty amazing in itself. But I thought Hana Kimura shined out of those 3 the most. And then Iwatani for the quote unquote good girls looked really good as well. And of course Tennille Dashwood. I mean, probably the biggest star in that division, as you could tell by the pops there. But absolutely no build up, no reason for us to care. But the women put on a good match there, Darryl.
That was a really good match. The 3 women that were with Kelly Klein, they made a fan out of me.
Austin Aries against Kenny K-I-G. I can't spell today. K-I-N-G King. And I want that shirt. I'm gonna get that shirt. I think
sweep the leg.
I like that. I like the shirt with the 4 kings on it. I dig that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I mean, we don't need to explain to our listeners this match. I mean, Aries and King are both top-notch wrestlers. The Royal Flush is actually one of my favorite kind of finishing moves that Kenny King does nowadays. So no surprise that it was a great match.
I just love that Kenny King actually plays to the crowd a lot too, because he came out dressed in what was it, Cobra Kai gear?
Yeah.
And like the fans were just cheering to sweep the leg.
And
that's all he did.
And then Aries dropped King with a brainbuster to the outside and the best chant of the year.
Yes.
This is probably going to be the best chant of the year. I don't think anything's going to top it. But when Austin Aries delivered the brainbuster onto Kenny King on the floor, the crowd starts chanting, "You killed Kenny, you bastard!" Taking off of South Park, of course, every episode where, of course, Kenny dies. That was awesome. Austin Aries with the win. Were you a little surprised at that?
Yeah, it confused me a little bit because anytime I watch a match and see the result, I always think of the aftermath of it, and it makes me curious to see if he's actually coming back to Ring of Honor, if he's going to drop the Impact title. That was really weird.
Next up, we got one of our better matches of the night. Well, actually, the entire card was a good match, but one of the better matches of the night, Jay Lethal, who we'll talk about here in a little bit later on about something else. That just reminded me of something else we got to talk about with Jay Lethal, too. There's a good and a bad we got to talk about with Jay Lethal. We'll cover those in a little bit. But first, at Best of the World, Jay Lethal, Kushida. This was basically just amazing. Kushida kind of playing a little more serious than he normally does. And these two just work so well together. I thought this was a tremendous match. What did you see in this one?
A pure wrestling match by both guys. I think, honestly, for any wrestling fan that just outside of the gimmicks, outside of the storylines, these guys just put on a hell of a match. Yeah,
I didn't start following Ring of Honor until shortly after we started the podcast. I realized we have two Sinclair stations now, a Fox affiliate and then I can't remember. It used to be a Warner Brothers or a CW. I don't know if they're still the affiliate, but they carry Sinclair too. So there's two different Fox and a CW that carry that now, and I've been watching Ring of Honor since basically we started the podcast about 3.5 years ago. So, that's where I got my introduction to New Japan, and and I had zero outside of watching some Bullet Club stuff, because that's how transcendent the Bullet Club was.
Mm-hmm.
Was they got me to watch some of their stuff, and I don't know anything about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Really?
And this was when when Fergal Devitt was leading them.
Okay.
And so through Ring of Honor is where I got my introduction to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Months later after Ring of Honor, watching that for the first time, and one of my favorites right off the bat was Kushida. I loved the gimmick. I loved his work in the ring. I loved the Back to the Future gimmick. Everything about him. He became one of my favorites right off the bat. And yeah, him and Lethal just tore it down.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. I actually enjoyed that match. I'm actually glad at the result of it too.
Jay Lethal gets the win with the lethal injection. Of course, the key was Jay Lethal was trying to right all the wrongs or all the losses he had since he lost his world title. And he beat everybody that had beaten him except for Kushida, and that ended there. So basically that was the way for Lethal to have to prove to management to get a title shot. Lo and behold, we didn't know that title shot would be coming the next night, but we'll get into that again in a little bit. Next up, TV title match. It's a Baltimore Street Fight. Punishment Martinez, Hangman Adam Page. I keep saying it. I keep saying it, Darryl. I was not impressed with Punishment Martinez in the beginning, but the last two to three pay-per-views, I've come away really impressed with his work now.
I'd probably say I watched him for the first time, I believe, the last time Ring of Honor came to Baltimore, and I realized that for his size, like, he's very, very athletic, and he actually does a lot of things that a lot of people half his size can't do. But between him and Page, they beat the shit out of each other.
Jesus Christ, no kidding. I mean, zip tie. I don't think that zip tie was supposed to break when it did.
No, not at all.
They both kind of stood there like, oh, what next? I mean, it wasn't a long, what next? Because they're professionals. They figured it out. They got on with it, and it worked. But I don't think those zip ties were supposed to break.
Not at all.
Jesus, I mean, I don't. There were so many insane moments in this match, and
dude, I will say this in person. Page's moonsault is one of the most prettiest things I've seen in my life.
Yeah, that thing was amazing. Did he do that right in front of you, or was it the opposite side?
It was in front of me, but it was toward the entrance, I believe, if I can remember.
The thumbtacks came out in the end, and Punishment got a back body drop onto those things, and look on his face pretty much said it all. Page is going for the rite of passage, but Martinez block and choke slam Page through a table to get the 3 count. So Punishment Martinez is still your TV champion. I think Matt called it. He's like, I want Page to win, but I'm afraid it's going to be Punishment. I thought this was going to be Adam Page's time, but well, we'll tie that all in a knot here later on. Second, co-main event, World Tag Team titles. Jay and Mark Briscoe took on the Young Bucks. This was probably my match of the night. I don't know about you. You were there. So.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I totally agree. This is my favorite match of the whole night.
Unfortunately, I watched it knowing who was going to win, but still, at the same time, I didn't know it was going to end when it did. I thought it was going to end much sooner. When Jay hit the J Driller on the chair, I thought that was it.
Yeah.
And Matt, I think it was Matt. Matt kicked out.
Like, yeah, it was Matt.
And there was no pin break up. It was just Matt kicking out. I'm like, whoa. There was just so many cool moments in this match. Like, that springboard cutter off the top rope. It's just the moves that those guys come up with is insane.
If you ever have the opportunity, even if you watch it on DVD, YouTube, and live, whatever, to see the Bucks and the Briscoes fight each other, like, it's always a great match. Always.
Well, it's probably the best tag team of Ring of Honor's history, going against one of the best tag teams today, and it'll probably go down as one of the best ever. It was definitely worthy of a best in the world pay-per-view, which is They call Best in the World their WrestleMania, basically, don't they?
I believe Final Battle is.
Do they call
Battle in December? Yeah, because that's usually when they have their best. Like, to me, I think they put on their best matches.
Well, Best in the World is like at least a good number 2.
I would say Best in the World is like their SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And they try to say Supercard is their WrestleMania, but no, I'm that's debatable.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't 2 years ago. Even though I did see Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole beat the shit out of each other in a chain match in the main event, and I saw Shane Taylor and Keith Lee before people knew who Shane Taylor and Keith Lee were. I got to talk with those guys.
Nice. I think that one of the bigger moments that everybody remembers from like Best of the World that made it more popular was when Jay Lethal finally captured the world title.
Yeah.
Against Jay Briscoe.
God, that feud was so good.
Yes.
There were so many great moments in the match, but in the end, the Briscoes hit the redneck boogie for a pinfall there, and the Briscoes retain their titles. I wonder if that puts them in line for the IWGP titles next. We'll have to see. SoCal Uncensored came in after the match, acted like they wanted to beat the shit out of the Bucks too, but instead they laid out the Briscoes. Clearly, they sent a message saying they want a shot at the titles next. Then they have a standoff with the Bucks. It ends amicably, and they go their separate ways. No handshakes or anything, because these guys hate each other, but kind of a little nod from the Bucks to the SCU for thanking them from further harm, because the Briscoes were going to beat the shit out of the Bucks some more. Next up, your main event for the world title: Dalton Castle, Cody, Marty Scurll. You started all off. You're thinking, oh, Bullet Club's fine. Cody and Marty are gonna gang up on Dalton Castle to start. No, bell rings. Marty Scurll's forearm shivers Cody. It's on from the beginning. What did you think of the main event, Darryl?
It was good. I expected a different result.
I think everybody did.
Yeah, I was interested to see how Marty and Cody would, react to each other, and I got what I wanted of them, pretty much going for the title, every man for themselves.
Yeah.
But for the majority, I was kind of staring at Brandy too. So.
No, but yeah. I'm sure to Matt's dismay, Nick Aldis was at ringside too.
Yeah.
I heard this. They had to cut this match down a little bit. So, if the end looked a little weird or anything, that might be the reason why they had to cut it down a little bit. But in the end, Scurll puts Castle in the chicken wing. Cody goes in for the crossroads, but Scurll then puts his own crossroads onto Cody. Castle then hits the bangarang off of those distractions, and to everybody's surprise, is still the Ring of Honor World Champion. But that didn't last too long. Of course, Castle is kind of banged up, to say the least.
Yeah.
Elbow, leg, back, everything.
Dude, it was so bad. Like, after the match was over, like, I don't even know if they showed up. I believe Matt said something to you about it after the match, but literally, like, Cody had to help Dalton to the back.
Yeah, Cody helped carry him back, yeah. So that basically prompted right away at the TV tapings the very next night, I think it was the very next night, that Dalton Castle defend against Cody, Matt Taven and Jay Lethal in the TV tapings in Fairfax, Virginia. Of course, this is already known, so but especially for Honor Club members, they knew right away. But this is a massive spoiler for Ring of Honor, so earmuff it for about a minute. As Jay Lethal is your new Ring of Honor World champion. He won the belt at the Fairfax, Virginia tapings, defeating Castle, Taven, and Cody. The second time that Lethal has held the belt. He held the title for 427 days with it the first time. If he holds the belt 219 days, he'll surpass Samoa Joe for the most days as Ring of Honor champion overall. And so, wow. I mean, why didn't they just put it on? I know why they didn't put on Cody, because it would have been champion versus champion at All In.
Right.
So why didn't they put it on Marty here?
Because I'll put it to you like this. I think that what's going on, I think with that whole Bullet Club is fine thing, I don't think it would have done anything for Marty. But in my opinion, I'm thinking like just regular folks. I would have put it on him and just, he deserves it. He's worked his ass off.
Yeah. Well, Jay Lethal becomes just, I believe, your fourth ever two-time champion for Ring of Honor. Austin Aries, Jay Briscoe, Adam Cole. Adam Cole is your only three-time champion. And then we got some crazy news where apparently former Woman of Honor star Taylor Hendricks is accusing Jay Lethal, basically telling management to keep her from putting her on TV because she refused to sleep with him. That was quite the bombshell that Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet dropped on us there a couple days ago, huh, Darryl?
Yeah, that kind of boggled the mind.
No updates since then that I have heard, but that was the latest. That I guess there'll be some a lawsuit filed or something. I don't know. It's interesting, but once we hear more, we'll update you.
It's just interesting to think that I'm not calling her a liar or anything, but the House of Truth. Well, the last time we saw her I remember we saw her on Ring of Honor TV. I believe was probably when Adam Cole joined the Bullet Club, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that. Yeah, that's probably the last time I remember seeing her. But that was so long ago. To why is it just come out right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Some sad news came down in the middle of last week. 38-year-old Matt Cappotelli, former Tough Enough winner, passed away. His wife Lindsay had announced the passing first and said, "Hey, Team Cap, I've been struggling with what to say and how to say this, and I'll end up rambling, but here it goes today. My love, my strong, sweet, beautiful love, took his last breath at 3:30 a.m. and went home to be with Jesus exactly 1 year after his brain surgery. You think you can be prepared for this when you know it is coming, but you just can't. The only person whose comfort I want right now is the one who can't give it to me. I miss him so much. I know where he is now is so much better, but it doesn't change how much I miss him." And guys such as John Morrison and Cassius Ohno posted their thoughts. Of course, they were very close with Cappotelli as well. John saying, my first best friend in the wrestling business, and to this day, one of the best people I've ever known. Matt Cappotelli's passed on. I'm gutted about this news. Matt inspired everyone around him, especially me early in my career. He is loved and will be missed. Cassius Ohno said, "Crushed to hear about the passing of Matt Cappotelli. He was talented, passionate, and possessed a heart of gold. Everyone should fight as hard as Matt fought. Condolences to his friends and family and the countless others he's touched on his journey." So, yeah, very sad news. I mean, it's unexpected, but it still sucks, doesn't it, Darryl?
Yeah, that was sad. I think I got that tweet when we were on our way to Best of the World. Like, that guy was young, man.
Yeah, but it was tough. He fought hard, but unfortunately, he didn't win in the end there. Just to update you guys on Tokyo, Nakamura did not wrestle in Tokyo due to the dog bite, unfortunately. He was shown on crutches, and so unfortunately did not get to wrestle in his home country. Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, said he might be out of the ring for several more weeks, but they are advertising that he's facing Jeff Hardy at Extreme Rules. So we'll see how that all plays out. At this point right now, it seems like he's supposed to be penciled in. So,
jeez, that dog must have mangled his leg.
Yeah, that's something interesting there. Sucks for Nakamura.
Yeah, that actually sucks if you can't even wrestle in your home country, man.
Ratings for the week: Impact Wrestling fell down to 254,000, while Raw took a little jump, up 40,000 to just over a hair over 2.7 million. Once again, the third hour not getting a noticeable drop-off, which is really interesting. But still kind of some low numbers for this time of the year. SmackDown Live really struggling, teetering just over 2 million, which is sad because SmackDown Live was pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was good. They had a nice lineup.
SmackDown Live has only been below 2 million once ever since they went to live, and that was November of 2016, the week before SmackDown 900. They went 1.92 million, and they went 2.013 million this week. Yeah, it's a shame. It was a good show this week.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad show at all.
Battle Riot, the big show event, special event for MLW is coming up here just a couple of weeks on July 19th, and it was announced 5 more wrestlers for the Battle Riot match, which is basically a 40-man battle royale, so to speak, but you can pin or submit or throw over the top rope. Ray Phoenix, Jimmy Havoc, Brody King, Low Key, and Head Shrinker Samu announced for the MLW Battle Riot. Of course, it's a mixture of some legends along with the current stars, so that explains Samu. Lots of other legends are joining. I'm trying to think of who else is in that, but off the top of my head, I can't remember. Here we go. Got the full list. Oh, yeah, Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan is going to be in that match. Conan, of course, we mentioned last week on the show, coming out of retirement. So that is the updated for the Battle Riot. Of course, it's going to be aired on beIN Sports. So that'll show, I believe they're going to air that the week after it films. So it'll be fun to watch that. ESPN is reporting that Vince McMahon has told people close to him that he expects to spend in the area of $500 million when he launches the XFL in 2020.
Damn, I thought you was going to say he retires.
Yeah, no such luck. It seems like he's retired from SmackDown, but no such luck on Raw yet. Yeah, obviously, no such luck on Raw yet, but initially the number being reported that he was going to spend was going to be about $100 million, but now it's at about $500 million, and of course the stock has more than doubled since the TV deals have been announced. So apparently, yeah, he's got more money to spend, so he's going to blow more money on it and see where it goes from there.
I'm interested to see what his marketing plan is going to be to try to get folks to watch this time.
I'm kind of wondering if that money is to pay some players.
Yeah, do you think he's actually going to try to lure some players from the NFL or try to bring a certain quarterback that used to play in San Francisco out there?
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, shit, we're still a little less than 2 years before that league takes off. So, lots of tryouts at the WWE Performance Center the past week. Gabby Ortiz, who has worked for Stardom. Terrence and Terrell Hughes, they're the sons of Devon Dudley. I wonder what school they went to. Former Impact Wrestling knockout Ava Story, among many people that had attended the tryouts. A lot of athletes and former athletes former professional and collegiate athletes got their tryouts there. We mentioned a couple of well-known names that got their tryouts there recently too. They're escaping my mind right now, but interesting tidbit about Dolph Ziggler. We all know his contract is up in the summer. But Wales Comic-Con has announced that Shawn Michaels is not able to attend their December 2018 event, and he's being replaced by Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Sheamus. So, by that might be a backhanded way of finding out that Dolph re-signed, huh?
Yep. I don't see no reason why he wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he's not been pushed like he should, but at the same time, I mean, he's a good top performer in the ring. Sometimes on the mic it's iffy, but I mean, the work he's doing with Drew right now is top notch. So
yeah, I'm actually eager to see that match he has at Extreme Rules with Seth Rollins.
30-minute Iron Man match. That's gonna be a classic right there.
Yeah.
So this is driving me nuts. So all right, I just found it. Glad it didn't take long. Chelsea Green, of course, Laurel Van Ness, and Robbie E. from both used to be in Impact Wrestling. They had tryouts at the Performance Center as well. So Chelsea, of course, dating Zack Ryder, and Robbie E. from the Bromans. So hopefully those guys get a shot. Big signing finally happened about a year after the wheels started turning. And I don't know how to say her first name, so I'm just going to say her last name, Shirai. Do you know how do you pronounce Io? I mean,
dude, don't even. I'm not going to even try.
I don't think I've ever heard her name audibly. I've just read her name. And one of the biggest female stars, not just in Japan, but all over the world. And while WWE was in Japan, they announced that they have signed her to a deal. So she'll be joining NXT this summer. I would say don't be surprised if you see her in the next tapings, Darryl, because when Asuka was signed and made her first appearance was just like 2 weeks between. So
you're right.
I'm not going to be too surprised if she shows up at those tapings here.
You don't think she possibly just shows up at the Mae Young Classic?
Yeah, she might. I don't know. She may be in it, but she may show up on NXT before that. I don't know.
Makes sense.
Many championships within Stardom. Of course, the Artist of Stardom Championship 6 times. That is the 6-woman tag championship. The Goddess of Stardom Championships once with Mayu Iwatani that I just talked about. That is their tag champions. Wonder of Stardom Championship. She's a 2-time champion. That's basically your secondary title or your intercontinental title in the WWE. And she is a 2-time World of Stardom champion, which is the top title. So big signing finally official for the WWE there. Congrats to Cedric Alexander. He was married over this past weekend, and so congrats to the WWE Cruiserweight Champion there.
Good for him.
He's having a good year, isn't he?
Yeah.
WWE is going to return to Madison Square Garden on Saturday, July 7th. It's going to be a Raw live event, special appearance from The Undertaker. He'll be appearing at MSG for the first time since 2010. Part of a 6-man tag, he's going to tag with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman against Elias, Baron Corbin, and Kevin Owens. Dolph Ziggler takes on Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Nia Jax takes on Ronda Rousey with Alexa Bliss as the guest referee. Gee, that won't have shenanigans in it, will it?
Wow.
And also to note, this is Rousey's first WWE. This is her WWE debut in Madison Square Garden. Also advertised for the event, the Deleters of Worlds, Jinder Mahal, Bobby Lashley, Bayley, Natalya, Bobby Roode.
I'll be watching another event on July 7th.
Yeah. Wonder what's going on there.
Access TV, you ever heard of that channel before?
Yeah. It's got a little wrestling show there, I think. You know?
Yeah. That guy, the Omega Kid or Mega, something or other.
I heard he could wrestle.
Yeah, they said he's the best.
NXT TakeOver, starting with Brooklyn in August, going to have some changes. All of the TakeOver specials will now begin at 7 p.m. Eastern, moving them up an hour.
Really?
Yep. The decision was made to make the live specials uniform with WWE pay-per-views. So the show now will begin at 6:15 in order to accommodate, of course, the tapings for NXT the following week. And, of course, there's a live kickoff broadcast with one of my new favorite guys in NXT, Pat McAfee. That dude is awesome.
Yeah, he might have a better career than he had in NFL.
Snap, tap, or crap. Put that on the T-shirt. But yes, takeovers now will start at 7. Maybe that gives room. Maybe at a 6th match.
Remember what I said last week?
Yeah. Maybe that makes a room for that.
Yeah.
I mentioned Battle Riot July 19th on. It's going to be on beIN Sports, where MLW Fusion airs. Big major tag team championship match just added. If you're a fan of the Lucha Underground, you're going to love this. Of course, the champions are the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix, brothers in real life. They're going to defend their tag titles against Aerostar and Drago.
Mm-hmm.
They're both from AAA, but of course, most famously known here in Lucha Underground. That'll be a fucking great match. Drago, Aerostar, and Phoenix were the Trios champions at one point in Lucha Underground, before Drago got pulled to the dark side. You ever got do you have beIN Sports? Have you checked it out yet?
No, I've caught MLW on YouTube. Yeah. But like I tried. I think one night you guys were telling me about beIN Sports. I actually have to pay extra for it.
Yeah, I am paying extra, so.
Yeah, like the way my life is set up right now, my cable bill's already high enough. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, like I could just check it out on YouTube.
So you're able? They post the few episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, they show the whole show.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a great little promotion. I'm enjoying the short time I've seen it.
Yeah, I try to keep up with it, but there's so much wrestling going on. I barely keep up with Raw and SmackDown. I'll watch it on my DVR, but I'm just trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah, I haven't caught Fusion last week. I haven't caught Impact in a while. I wanted to get 205 Live in tonight, but I couldn't even get that in.
I heard it was actually interesting tonight. Homicide and Hernandez came back.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
To side with, or
no, they beat the crap out of the new LAX and Conan.
Oh.
Check it out.
Homicide has been with the company. It was with the new LAX as of recent, but he kind of disappeared for a little bit, and of course Hernandez. I can't remember the last time he was in Impact, but that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish my boy Eli Drake was coming to NXT, but that's gonna be a little well yet.
I mean, he signed, so he's a dummy. Yeah,
dummy. Yeah. Speaking of MLW, one of their top stars, Jimmy Havoc, is going to make his Ring of Honor debut this August, as PW Insider has confirmed. But of course, MLW has an open door policy for their talents, so they're going to allow him to go. MVP noted on Instagram, I just found this out. MVP noted on Instagram he was released by MLW for reasons I won't go into because I still don't completely understand. I'm reaching out to the company, so that's interesting. That's news to me. Wow. MVP, of course, was heavily involved in MLW as of late in a feud with Sami Callihan. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt was absent from Monday Night Raw this week. Unfortunately, he was involved in a head-on car crash while going to the airport in the Midwest. At the time of the announcement, WWE did not disclose the injuries, but he was released from the hospital in Tampa, Florida, where he lives. And, of course, Matt Hardy rematched with Curtis Axel by himself. TMZ is reporting that Bray Wyatt was cited for careless driving due to his failure to operate a vehicle in a careful and prudent manner.
What does that mean?
In regards to the accident, according to the crash report, Wyatt was inattentive to traffic when he smashed into the car in front of him, caused the driver to veer to the left and hit another vehicle. So,
sounds like he was texting while driving.
Yep. That's what it looks like. Also, Ruby Riott is injured, had an MRI on Monday. Unfortunately, that MRI showed that she has an MCL sprain, so she's going to be out for it could be 2 to 3 weeks, or it could be several months. Right now, it's that is up in the air, but hopefully Ruby Riott can get back in the saddle soon. Former NFL running back and professional wrestler D'Angelo Williams. It's been announced that he's returning to Impact. He'll be returning to the company next week. He'll be getting involved in the Moose Austin Aries storyline leading up to their Slammiversary pay-per-view match in Toronto. He'll appear on the July 12th edition of Impact Wrestling. He'll be on the side of Moose, helping him out, helping and training. I'm not sure if you watched it last year, Darryl, but D'Angelo Williams was pretty damn impressive.
I heard he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He teamed with Moose and took on Eli Drake and Chris Adonis, and I thought he looked tremendous in the ring. It was for a celebrity or an athlete, somebody that's not in the professional wrestling business to get in. Kind of like a Stephen Amell, who Stephen Amell really impressed when he was there with Stardust. So that'd be cool. He'll be helping Moose. I have a good feeling Moose is going to be the champion because Impact that Moose is the guy. The Impact is. Yeah,
me and Matt talked about it on the way home. We kind of mentioned it as we were talking about the Austin Aries Kenny King match. We were probably thinking he won that because he probably may want to come back to ROH. So I wouldn't be surprised if Moose wins that title at Slammiversary.
Yeah, I think ROH's got to be the home for Aries, man. Got to be.
Think about it. You got Aries. Just think about it. If you have Lethal, you have Aries, you have Cody, you got the Young Bucks. I mean,
Daniel Bryan, if WWE fucks up.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty loaded.
CM Punk, maybe.
Yeah.
So.
And thinking about it, knowing that they actually know what to do with these guys. Yeah.
Exactly. They're coming off of one of the better wrestling shows of the year too, with Best in the World. So.
Mm-hmm. I just like how they space out their pay-per-views. I think the next one is not until September. I think it's Death Before Dishonor.
Sounds about right.
So it gives us time to actually watch enough TV and create a storyline and look forward to it, not have a pay-per-view every month. Not saying that WWE's pay-per-view every month doesn't do anything for me. It just seems like they kind of put these storylines together just for the pay-per-view. See Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley.
An update on injury we announced here last week on Lost to the Midcard. Oney Lorcan from NXT, broken orbital bone. The diagnosis is he's going to be out about 3 months. Of course, we'll cover NXT here in just a minute, where Danny Burch talks about the injury and leading into a match next week on NXT TV.
That's a bummer, dude. I feel bad for that dude.
I know. Well, at least you got Burch with the match against Cole next week. Maybe I haven't read the spoilers this time around. Usually I do. Sometimes they tape while we record, so I have no choice but to go over the spoilers because we love talking about them on the podcast. So I don't know what's going on with NXT up until the end of the taping, so maybe they stretch out Cole and Burch. It'll be interesting. NXT this week. I'm going to take over here for a minute because Darryl, unfortunately, is not. We just talked about it, didn't we, Darryl?
Yeah.
Not enough time to keep.
So much wrestling, man.
I know. I didn't even watch NXT till tonight, right before we recorded. So it almost felt like a Wednesday because we would go record right after NXT got off the air. But,
right.
Santana Garrett, of course, you know her from Impact Wrestling and NXT. She made her return to Full Sail. She took on Dakota Kai in a fairly good little match there to kick off NXT this week. Dakota Kai with a sick-ass finisher. Basically, my best way to describe this, Darryl, is a destroyer into a lung blower.
How the fuck does that happen?
Oh my God! Well, you said you're gonna watch NXT probably tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get into it tomorrow.
Well, pay attention to the end. It's a fairly short match, probably about 4 or 5 minutes, I think. That finishing move was sick, though, dude.
Jesus, I'm trying to think of destroy until Lord. Huh?
Yeah, it was sick.
Maybe you want to watch it tonight after we finish recording.
There you go. They show EC3 arriving at the arena while the NXT fans were waiting in line, and then they show Johnny Gargano arriving about the same time. Noticeably different. EC3 happy, high-fiving the fans, having a good time. Gargano obviously still a little disturbed after NXT TakeOver Chicago. They'll meet in the main event later tonight. Tucker Knight, Otis Dozovich. I love these guys. Heavy Machinery. They're working out. They're working out in the weight room at the Performance Center. And Otis mentions that they have some steaks on the grill outside while they're working out. The only guys that could work out and have steaks going on the grill at the same time.
Nice.
Otis was going to check on the steaks, and he heard some commotion and Tucker got attacked from behind, or while he was lifting weights, and of course the Mighty were behind that one. And seriously, Otis Dozovich is like one of my favorite guys in NXT right now. That dude is just entertaining.
He has no neck, just straight head and shoulders.
Man, dude is awesome. He's doing a he turns the cell phone. It was like he was filming Tucker lifting weights. He turns it on to himself. He's talking. He's just jabbering while he's walking to the steaks. And he's talking about how he likes his steak thick and juicy. He likes it rare. So he had to turn around when Tucker was getting attacked. So those steaks aren't rare anymore. So they fucked up his steaks along with his tag team partner.
See, that would piss me off. You can't fuck up a good steak.
Man. Shayna Baszler came out, cut a great promo, talked about the Mae Young Classic and how they have to go, they can't find anybody here in NXT. They got to go all over the world to find a challenger for her. The answer will be the same. She'll put them to sleep. And here you're still your NXT Women's Champion. Great promo there by Shayna Baszler for sure.
I love her.
They talked about Oney Lorcan. Danny Burch said he's going to be out for about 3 weeks. He says it's a shame, or 3 months. He says it's a shame because we've had a combined 25 years of hard work to get to where we were. We just barely came up short. But we will be back and be back at the front of the line for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And lo and behold, just as he says that, who walks by in the hallway but the Undisputed Era? All 4 guys, Fish, O'Reilly, Cole, and Strong. They kind of make fun of Danny Burch, call him a loser. Danny challenges Adam Cole to a match next week, and he laughs and accepts the challenge. No word if it's for the North American title, but Adam Cole and Danny Burch with a match next week on NXT. Next up is the Mighty, who I think are doing a great job as heels, Darryl.
That's the best thing they could have did with turning them heel.
They were doing good as a babyface team,
but I think it was just too crowded with too many babyface teams at the time.
Yep, they're doing well with what they got. They take on Otis Dozovich in a 2-on-1 handicap match because, of course, they attacked Tucker Knight in the weight room earlier in the day. And I tell you what, man, Otis looked great in this match. Showed his personality, his character, and his ability in the ring. Very entertaining. Of course, eventually the numbers game took hold, and the Mighty took the win. But really impressed with Otis in this one here. Bianca Belair, she's on her honeymoon. She just got married to Montez Ford. She's sitting there staring at the ocean and cutting a promo, talking about how, I don't need to introduce myself, but I'm Bianca Belair. She's on her honeymoon and she was asked about the other women in NXT. She says, mentions how one's a lunatic, one's a pirate. One thinks she's a captain of a team that doesn't exist, and one is too busy worrying about her husband. Bianca says she does not worry about any of them. She's going to get back to her honeymoon.
Wow.
Bianca is awesome, and again,
she's EST.
Congrats to Bianca and Montez Ford for recently getting married as well. Kairi Sane is interviewed and talks about Vanessa Bourne. Heard what Vanessa had to say about her, and says Vanessa needs to focus more on fighting. Let's have a match. Kairi says she'll make her walk the plank and take the treasure of the NXT Women's Championship. That will happen next week, Sane and Bourne, along with Adam Cole and Danny Burch. Already shaping up to be a great NXT next week. Third match of the evening. I say third match because we actually have 4 this week. It was a long NXT, and I loved all of it. Velveteen Dream and Chris Dijak, and this was a hell of a match. Chris Dijak looked amazing here. He's already starting to pick up some steam with the NXT universe as well. Some smart ones in the crowd chant with a little "Feast Your Eyes" chant for Dijak.
Nice.
Yes, a "Feast Your Eyes" chant. It started out very, you could hear it, but it was very, very small. But later on in the match, it got turned into a bigger chant. So, and Dijak really impressed against Dream here. Looked really good. I think there's a big future for him. I told Matt on the Twitter this evening, I go, I'm going to give it 2 months tops when he gets to the main roster before Vince drops the Chris and just makes him Dijak.
Mm-hmm. That'll happen.
Velveteen Dream hit the twisting DDT after a sick move. Dijak was going to the top rope. Looked like he was going to do some kind of a moonsault out to the outside. Dream grabs Dijak's feet and flings him forward where the momentum drops Dijak head first on the steel steps. That was an amazing spot. And Dream rolled him in and then hit the rolling DDT for the victory there. That was an amazing spot. Mustache Mountain cutting a promo on the Undisputed Era about how they're going to invoke their tag team title matches. They also announced that in 3 weeks, Aleister Black will take on Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. Main event of the evening, EC3 Johnny Gargano. This was amazing. No surprise there. Good to see EC3 selling his ass off on top of looking great on offense. Kind of a lengthy match that we haven't really seen one-on-one with EC3 yet on NXT. And it was a lengthy match. That was for damn sure. NXT went to the top of the hour. And you can definitely see Gargano. He's got some demons now, and it almost looked like he was looking at Ciampa when he was looking at EC3 and beating the shit out of him a few times. I thought he slapped on the Gargano, escape right by the ropes, because obviously he knew EC3 could easily grab for the rope break. And I thought he was going to get disqualified. I thought that's how the match was going to end. But he'd let go at 4, and then hits the same type of DDT that Ciampa hit on him in Chicago to end the match, and Johnny Gargano defeats EC3. Amazing main event, and EC3 looked amazing there. So, good stuff. Good to see EC3 looking good, coming back home to NXT. WWE was in my neck of the woods this week. I didn't go, though. I had plans, so SmackDown was actually an hour away from me. I kind of wish it wasn't this week, like July 4th week. Because, damn, SmackDown was a great show. Raw was kind of just there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. Or in my Matt Black voice.
Roman Reigns comes out, talks about losing to the Revival last week, and talking about Bob. I'm liking the feud between those guys, though.
It's interesting. I don't call it bad. I don't call it good. It's just entertaining from my point of view.
Yeah. Bob didn't come out, though. It was Ziggler and McIntyre. When are they going to just start calling them the show? Because that's what they should call them.
See, trademark that, Matt. Hey, trademark that, JB. I'm sorry.
Ziggler and McIntyre get in Roman's face, and of course that ends in some fisticuffs, and Seth Rollins predictably makes the save. We figured Teddy Long was going to come out. We have a tag match right now, but nope. Nope. Matt Hardy came out next. Matt Hardy, of course, minus Bray Wyatt due to the car accident. He took on Curtis Axel for the second straight week. A longer match, a lot better match. But still, Curtis Axel with the win. Basically, they're just making you think the B team's on a roll when they're just going to lose at Extreme Rules, right?
Pretty much.
Rollins and Reigns in the locker room talking about their respective situations. Lashley shows up, and Rollins says, "I'll leave you to it, big dog." And Lashley told Reigns he doesn't like him, but we got to focus on our match. Reigns told him to shut up, let Reigns start the match and finish the match while Lashley stands on the apron. Lashley goes, "Is that a threat?" They stare down to end it. So Roman Reigns doing double duty tonight because previously already announced was for the third straight week for some fucking reason they wanted Lashley and Reigns against the Revival. And then, of course, Reigns and Rollins are going to take on McIntyre and Ziggler. They show the Dr. Shelby segments with Bayley and Sasha, and these were terrible. Outside of Shelby losing it at the end, these were terrible. I thought they were dumb. It was worthless. Waste of time. What did you think?
I watched it on DVR. As soon as I saw what it was going to be, I kind of fast forward through it.
Don't blame me. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was no Team Hell No, that's for damn sure.
Not at all.
Authors of Pain killed Titus Worldwide in 2 minutes. So much for that being their first feud. Kevin Owens backs his car into the parking lot. Valet says, "You can't park there." And Owens says, "I don't give a shit." Refuses to give his keys and goes inside the building. Next up is Rollins and Reigns against Ziggler McIntyre. This is one of the few bright spots of Raw on Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah. Anything with Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler is good.
Yeah, I can't. That 30-minute Iron Man match is going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait. Hopefully that means bigger things for Ziggler going forward, or at least maybe Ziggler and McIntyre going forward.
I hope so.
I'd love to see McIntyre take the Universal title off of Lesnar.
That'd be love. I think everyone would love that. That's if he shows up to a pay-per-view or to a damn TV taping for that matter.
I mean, you know the sky is going to be the limit for McIntyre going forward in the WWE. And what better way to do it than have him knock off Lesnar? Not going to happen, but hey, I can dream.
Dude, I think the wrestling world would be thankful. That's the best word I can think.
Okay, Coach. My one word for the hour is thankful. I'll be your Corey Graves making fun of you, Coach. 16-minute match, though, top notch, best match of the night. It's funny, I say best match of the night, it ended in DQ. I mean, there were so many matches months ago that ended DQ that were just like shitty. But now they're like these DQ finishes that are actually turned out, they're good, they make sense, they're good. I enjoyed the Revival's beatdown, and then they beat down Roman while Ziggler and McIntyre beat down Rollins, and it was a great way to disqualify.
Yeah. Need you wanting more.
Kevin Owens shows up in Angle's office to complain about Strowman, and he suggested that Angle sends Strowman to counseling. Angle says, "Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you in a match with him tonight." And Owens did not like that.
Oh, my goodness. I love this feud.
A feud I'm not really loving right now is Finn Balor and Constable Corbin. Just not doing it for me.
They're just trying to fit them in the show some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah. Basic gist of this one was Corbin was trying to get Balor to apologize, and he wouldn't. And it ended with Corbin attacking Finn, but Finn getting the upper hand and Corbin bailing. And then it was just announced, I believe today, if not today, yesterday, that it'll be Corbin and Balor at Extreme Rules, which will be a good match. It's just, this isn't a feud I'm digging, you know.
Yeah, it just seems like they just were put together, you know, just because.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Was I drunk and I didn't know it, or or am I just completely wrong? But is Liv Morgan getting a little better in the ring?
Yes.
She looked pretty good against Ember Moon here.
Yeah, she was decent.
Yeah. So, Matt already vaulted her over Carmella in terms of skill. So,
dude, a piece of paper Matt will put over Carmella.
But I haven't talked to Matt about this specifically. But yeah, it looked like Liv Morgan improving. I'm like, oh, good to see. Moon hits the Eclipse though after an 8-minute match. Decent 8-minute match though between Moon and Morgan. Got to do something with Moon and Logan in the time being, or not Moon and Logan. Morgan and Logan in the time being. All these names ending in N just fucking me up here, But hopefully Ruby's not out for too long. But if she is out for a while, we're gonna have to figure a little something out with that Riot Squad. We had another canceling segment that sucked. Only thing funny about it was Dr. Shelby going nuts. Other than that, it sucked. Shelby was channeling his inner Braun Strowman, I think, at the end there. But
dude, just let Bayley and Sasha fight. We already know. We've seen the two matches. Just set it up for SummerSlam and leave it be.
Reigns and Lashley against the Revival. This was more of an angle than it was a match. Basically, the angle of Reigns not tagging Lashley in. Lashley never did get in the match. It went only a few minutes before the Revival just ignored the ref and got the DQ there. So another disqualification. But it was more of a story than anything. I guess that's the best thing they could have done with it, because I thought it was dumb to have them wrestle 3 weeks in a row.
I guess that was Vince saying, we're going to switch it up for a little bit.
Kevin Owens is back in the office and asks Angle if he'll get him Shania Twain tickets. Kevin even said he'd watch Angle's kids. Angle said no dice, and Kevin said, you don't deserve Shania Twain tickets anyway.
This feud is very entertaining. It's just hilarious. I look forward to this every week.
It's great. It's been great. It gets better. It gets better.
It puts two great personalities to just act a fool.
Yeah. It's been amazing. Reigns showed up. Angle, busy man here on Monday Night tonight. Reigns shows up to complain about Bobby Lashley, and Angle says, hey, Lashley was just here. It's official. You guys got your match at Extreme Rules. Mojo Rawley once again refuses to wrestle No Way Jose, calling him a joke. And then he completely destroys one of the guys in the conga line before destroying No Way Jose as well. I know Matt will disagree. I don't know about you, Darryl, but I like this Mojo Rawley here.
I do.
I think he's got the tools. He's got something. Him and Jose don't do anything for me. I just think they put him with somebody more serious. It'll actually work itself out. Yeah, I think this is like his stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
Gets him on TV. Gets his.
This is his crawl before he walks.
It gets his personality. And I think he's got a lot of, and I saw a lot of this in, I've been right on most of these guys. I've been wrong on some of these guys too. But I mean, I saw it in Elias in NXT. I saw it in Corbin in NXT as well. And look where they came. I'm seeing it in Mojo right now. So he just really hasn't had a chance to get out of the blocks yet.
Yeah, he just needs one good feud or one good match that will carry over and get him notice or get him the respect from the universe.
Nia Jax on stage. She announced that the Raw Women's Championship between Bliss and Jax will be Extreme Rules match. To my knowledge, this is the only Extreme Rules match on the card of the pay-per-view.
It is.
Rules. That makes zero sense. This led to Nia Jax and Mickie James having a nice little 10-minute match. I thought it was very solid with Nia, of course, has tremendously improved in the ring this year, and a good veteran like Mickie James. In the end, Nia hits a Samoa drop for the win.
She has improved. I will say that.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin Owens backstage with Jinder Mahal, learning breathing techniques. That was funny, too. I cracked up at that one. Kevin. Next up, it's the main event. Bell rang. Strowman delivered a Beal to Owens, and then Owens bailed. He was like the old man. He was like the old man in Friday. Debo goes, "You want some of this, old man?" He goes,
"No,
no." So Owens hides or goes out to the parking lot. Oh shit! He forgot his keys. If only he would have gave them to the valet, but the valet would have took the car and parked it elsewhere, though. So, Owens hides in the porta potty. We all know that's not gonna work.
And that's when you realize shit got real.
Strowman looks around and he almost left, and then he stopped and wait a minute. He's in the porta potty. So Strowman, in a funny, anybody in there?
Like I said, two great personalities put together.
Oh my god, that was so fucking funny. Owens says, "Go away!" And Strowman duct tapes the porta potty shut, and then Strowman got his cardio workout by dragging the porta potty with Owens in it through the arena to the stage, sets it up on the side of the stage, and shoulder tackles it out of the stage down to the floor, and the best chant of the night, the fans chant "Holy shit," because Kevin Owens got knocked out in a porta potty. EMTs check on Owens, and he's got blue stuff all over him because that's what they put in porta potties. But trust me, that it was not a used porta potty.
Not at all.
It's not. This isn't Jackass, but a great moment to end Raw, Darryl.
I don't think he.
It was a shit show, but at least the one tag match in this segment were fun.
We had a happy ending. I'll say that.
Yeah. SmackDown, on the other hand, 1 hour away from me down in Omaha, Nebraska, kicked off with Team Hell No, and Renee Young welcomed Team Hell No to the ring, and it was great. It like they kind of went back to the bickering, and the best part was Kane telling Daniel Bryan, "You're like a brother to me." Goes, "You lit your brother on fire." He talks about all the places where Kane destroyed him, and tried to get on Daniel Bryan's good side. It was great. It led to the classic yes/no argument that the two.
That's what we were all been waiting for.
But then they were interrupted by the Usos, and they talked about Welcome him came back and referred to Bryan as Sweet Beats. If you, I miss talking
smack. It was great.
Why, Vince? Why did you get rid of that? That was so fucking good.
It was best for business.
He said, the Usos said, well, we're excited you guys are back, but no way do you deserve a title shot. And they welcome him to the Uso Penitentiary. And complains about how Paige gave him a title shot because they hugged. Well, we just hugged 4 times. We get 4 titles opportunities, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Bryan says, well, why don't you get in the ring to settle this? Kane's like, well, let's consider it first.
When have you ever known Kane to consider shit?
True. Paige comes out and says, well, here we go. Main event tonight. Usos, Team Hell No. If the Usos win, they will be added to the match at Extreme Rules. Good promo to kick things off there. I loved it. It was pretty good. Jeff Hardy doing another dark promo. I love those. Those are pretty sweet. Where he's got his back to the camera. Those are really cool. He's got some badass red, white, and blue face paint for America. And says the U.S. Challenge is now open. Jeff Hardy comes out, and the man to answer the challenge, none other than The Miz, who they had a great match to qualify for Money in the Bank, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. That was pretty good.
And
I was surprised it was Miz, but I was happy it was Miz too.
They had a damn good United States Championship match here. 17 minutes. Seriously, put the fucking WWE Championship on The Miz this year, sometime. Soon.
Yeah.
Dude deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
It's been how long has it been now? Has it been almost 10 years now?
Yeah. What was it, 20?
Or was it
29?
11? Maybe 8, but about 7 or 8 years now, maybe. Maybe I think might have been 11. List of WWE champions. As I narrate my Googling. And I go to The Miz. 2010, November 2010. And he defended it at WrestleMania in 2011 against John Cena, I believe. And he beat John Cena. But he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract in Orlando at Raw in November 2010 when Orton was champion. So, yeah, so it's been almost 8 years. Dude's been on complete fire since. Yeah, dude's been on complete fire since Maurice came back the night after WrestleMania in Dallas, a little over 2 years ago. Miz has been on fire since then. He deserves to be the top guy.
Sure does.
He's already gonna be going down as probably one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time. After it's said and done, probably will be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Because I don't think Jericho's going to get another reign. I think The Miz will eventually.
Right.
But Jeff Hardy, with Miz arguing, because Miz put his feet on the ropes to get leverage on the pin, but Charles Robinson, Little H, said, I saw that. Miz argues, and that walked into a twist of fate into the Swanton in the great match between Jeff Hardy and The Miz. Next up, it's time for the New Day pancake eating contest. Oh, yeah. Best part of the introductions was when Byron Saxton said there's 5 minutes on the clock and Big E flashed back to NXT. The 5 count. WWE.com actually snapped a picture of him holding the 5 up. Like, that was great job, cameraman.
Yeah, it was.
I still don't get the reason why Byron didn't read Big E's bio.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, I was looking forward to hearing it.
The ones for Woods and Kofi were funny. I was a little disappointed that we don't have time. Oh, come on, what was it gonna be? So they're having a pancake eating contest because, of course, 4th of July. What do? You have the Nathan's hot dog eating contest where fucking Joey Chestnut ate 74 fucking hot dogs in 12 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever it is you get. 74 fucking hot dogs. That dude's won like 35 straight years.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know about 35, but it's been a long. He's got quite the winning streak. Broke his own record. He broke the record last year with 72. Broke it again this year with 74. 74 fucking hot dogs. I could eat 4. Yeah.
I just managed to eat 2 yesterday.
During the pancake eating contest, a little of the way into it, Sanity interrupts and attacks the New Day. And Eric Young dropping a sweet elbow through the table on Xavier Woods. Though the New Day got beat, or though Sanity got beat in their match, the 6-man tag match with the Usos and Jeff Hardy, I think this was a good way to get their heat back and kind of make them a threat.
Absolutely.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that kind of killed them, losing that match, that 6-man tag, or I didn't think it was that bad.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. I don't really know.
Matt kind of thought it was kind of a death sentence for Sanity.
Yeah. They can do some things, but it's still too early to tell for me.
James Ellsworth and Asuka, this was great. What you expect, Ellsworth getting the shit beat out of him by Asuka.
She slapped the shit out of him.
The ref's reaction was like, he's like, oh! Then Ellsworth escaped, and Asuka chased him around the arena, caused for the count out. Ellsworth goes back over the barricade, and then Carmella hits a little super kick.
I know Matt was happy.
I'm sure he was. Kane, backstage. Daniel Bryan shows up with some papers. And he's about to read all the things that Kane did to him. And literally every day in May had something bad happen. And Kane says he's sorry for it all. That was I jumped ahead of myself. That was where he said that he's like a brother to Daniel. And you set your brother on fire. But then Kane says, when we're on the same page, nobody can stop us. They create a fire that no one can extinguish. He said they will be the tag team champions. I am the tag team champions. That was funny, too. Yet another example of how great Team Hell No was 5 years ago.
Yes, right? They were.
I am the tag team champions. It's a little pep talk before their match. They announced Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke Nakamura, July 15th, Extreme Rules. We'll see. I guess this obviously came down after the PW Insider report, so obviously they're confident, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think that changes my prediction. I think this whole dog incident changes my prediction, though. There's a tease.
There it is.
AJ Styles took on Aiden English. Went about 5 minutes. English taps out with a calf crusher. Rusev pulls AJ out of the ring afterwards and beats him up a little bit. Hits the accolade to get a little heat. The beautiful Iconics do a little cell phone promo, talking about how Becky Lynch never wins when it matters the most. That led to their match. Went only about 4 minutes. Becky Lynch with the disarmor.
Oh my God, Becky Lynch finally wins a match. I'm happy.
She hasn't lost in a while, man. She's on a roll. She's been on quite the roll, man. I think she's going to be in line for a title shot here once the smoke clears with Asuka.
She deserves it.
I wonder if I've got this strange feeling. Well, we'll see how we predict, but I got a strange feeling about that title.
Really?
Yeah, we'll see. Shinsuke Nakamura doing a cell phone promo, asking why Jeff paints his face. Wondered if Hardy was a clown or if he was ashamed. And in Extreme Rules, he will take his pride, his honor, and his United States Championship. Nakamura is such a good heel. Love it. And the main event, Usos Team Hell No. First time Team Hell No's teamed up in 5 years. And damn, this was pretty damn good main event, wasn't it?
Yeah, they look very good. Both teams.
Matt mentioned this, I don't know if it was publicly or privately, or it might have been you. I can't remember. I'm getting old. I can't remember shit half the time. But Kane slimmed down.
Yeah, that was Matt. He has slimmed down.
Yeah, Kane has slimmed down since we saw him with feuding with Strowman.
He lost that campaign weight.
Yeah, and Matt's like, it's the first time I think I've cheered for a hot tag to Kane. I'm like, I told him, I'm taking a screenshot of that tweet. Good stuff. I loved one of my favorite spots was when the Usos was going up for the double splash and Kane caught them both by the throat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was nice. That actually was the prelude to the end of the match when Bryan hits the running knee on Jimmy. Kane hits a chokeslam on Jay. Game over. Team Hell No wins. Stays a one-team versus one-team match.
That's weird, though, dude.
What's that?
Considering it's Extreme Rules, like you wouldn't add anything to it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Something's going to be changing next week.
Yeah.
There's going to be some other Extreme Rules match. I don't know what it's going to be, but great main event. Went about 13 minutes between those guys. Daniel Bryan leading the crowd in yes chants at the end, and Kane was doing his own version, and Bryan's like, "You got to do it like you mean it." And finally, Kane did the yes chant like he meant it, and they hug it out, and then the Bludgeon Brothers come out and stare them down to end the show. Great show, great SmackDown Live, loved it. It's the A show right now, boy.
It is.
All right, well, before we wrap up things here, right off into the sunset. Again, no show next week. I'm going to be off. I'm going to be out of state. Then I'm going to be out of state, and then on the day I come back into town, I'm going back out of town. So it's a busy week for me coming up. So no podcast. May not have a post show, but stay tuned to Facebook and Twitter. We'll keep you updated if we have a post show for Extreme Rules. I'm going to be just getting back into town after about 8 days gone. So if WWE throws a 5-hour pay-per-view my way, I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk for 45 minutes to an hour like we do. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. So if not, we will cover Extreme Rules in 2 weeks on Lost in the Midcard. That'll be Thursday, the 19th. All right, Darryl, there are 9 matches on the card, so probably going to slide in a pre-show match here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Probably No Way Jose and Mojo Rawley. That's probably your pre-show match. Let's break it down. Baron Corbin, Finn Balor. Do you see this as Balor going over, or are they pushing the guy that's kind of got a little authoritative power?
It doesn't make sense for you to be the constable or Stephanie's personal snitch to lose. So I'm going to go with Corbin.
Yeah, I think considering that they're putting him in the ring right away, yeah, I think there's something bigger for Corbin. Unfortunately for Balor. I mean, God, dude had it all, and then next day lost it, you know.
Pretty much.
WWE United States Championship, Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke Nakamura. I was all set on Nakamura winning. I'm going to say Jeff Hardy by DQ. They rematch at SummerSlam to get a proper build-up that we didn't get since the dog bit him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be Arm to Balls Part 2, because he did that to Jeff Hardy leading up to Backlash. I think it's going to end in a DQ. Either way, I think Jeff Hardy leaves Extreme Rules the champion. They rematch at SummerSlam.
I can see that. I'm gonna go with Jeff Hardy. I don't know if it's going to be clean or DQ, but I'm just going to go with Jeff Hardy. Period.
Before the dog, I was guaranteed it was going to be Nakamura. It was Nakamura's consolation prize,
Right.
for a great heel turn, but not winning the WWE Championship when he should have at least won it once. He could have given it back to AJ a month or two later, but he should have had a little run with it, I thought. But
I think he deserved it.
He did. Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley. This is interesting. It's Vince's golden boy against a guy I think they're pushing, but who do you got? Who do you got here?
Only because I'm thinking, and maybe you've heard something different, but only because I'm thinking that possibly Lashley might see Brock at SummerSlam. I'm gonna go Lashley.
Yeah. Originally, we thought it was all set in stone. Reigns and Lesnar, where Reigns finally beats Lesnar for the title. I think SummerSlam is going to be a triple threat.
Okay.
And to make that a triple threat, Bobby Lashley has to beat Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns already beat Lesnar, the greatest Royal Rumble.
This is true.
Lashley beats Reigns to get his name in the hat for SummerSlam. Triple threat. And hey, then Strowman comes out.
And finally wins the title.
They're booking Lashley a hell of a lot better this month.
Yeah, he's actually not giving boring promos.
30-minute Iron Man match for the WWE Intercontinental title. Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins. This is going to be match of the night, but no way Ziggler loses here.
Nah, I'm going with Ziggler as well.
Yeah, it's going to be full steam ahead with Rollins towards the Universal title from here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Bludgeon Brothers against Team Hell No. This is interesting. Ever since Harper and Rowan won the tag titles, they have barely been on TV.
They had,
is there a reason for that?
I don't know. I can't recall. I think maybe a rematch with the Usos when they won. I've probably seen them wrestle one match together.
Now, we all know Kane has an election coming up in a month.
Mm-hmm. Bludgeon Brothers.
I gotta go Bludgeon Brothers too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe Team Hell No for a short run, but Kane has that election coming up. It's the election, I think, and it's August 1st. So, yeah, I see Hell No could win, but just that timing, this is going to be real short term. But still cool that they brought this together. I'm glad they did that.
Right.
Next up, SmackDown Women's Title, Carmella, Asuka. What do you see there, Darryl?
I'm going to go with Matt's favorite wrestler, Carmella.
Yeah, I think something screwy is going to happen.
Yeah. There's just too much going on with that Ellsworth thing.
I just don't get the booking of Asuka ever since she lost, but it's opened the door for her to lose.
Yeah, it is.
I think Becky Lynch defeats Carmella at SummerSlam.
I'm here for all of that.
I think this one's obvious based on how Raw's been playing out. But for the Raw tag team titles, the Deleter of Worlds B team. Now the B team has been funny. They've been great. I love their priorities. But Deleter of Worlds are going to definitely come out the champions here. Do you agree?
I agree.
Raw Women's Championship Extreme Rules match. Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax. How do you see this one going down?
I see Alexa winning this. Ronda will play some part into it. I see Alexa and Ronda, maybe Nia, maybe Natty, or somebody else, but I see Ronda and Alexa somewhere in the fold at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think it's a fatal four-way. I think Natty and Ronda are going to be in it. A fatal four-way. But yeah, I'm going Bliss here. No reason to put it on Jax right now after she took it from Bliss at WrestleMania.
Right.
But you never know. WWE every once in a while likes the hot potato shit. So.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Nia wins. I'm not going to be like, oh, what? No, I won't be surprised, but I'm going Bliss here. And your main event for the WWE Championship. So good to say for the main event and a guy, Rusev, in the main event of a pay-per-view. Going for the WWE Championship. Rusev, AJ Styles. God, I really want to pick Rusev here, much like I picked Adam Hangman Page to beat Punishment Martinez for the Ring of Honor television title at Best in the World. But I truly thought it was his time, and it wasn't. It should be Rusev's time.
But it won't be.
But it won't be. Now, I think we're on a collision course of AJ Styles and Samoa Joe.
Absolutely.
All right, that is our Extreme Rules preview. A little early because we won't have a show next week. But thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. And once again, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Thursday, most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. The links to all that also on our Twitter at LITMC Podcast. We share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world, a lot of entertaining tweets out there. Make sure to give us a follow there. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. Darryl is on the Twitter at No One Like D. And before we ride off into that sunset, Darryl, what are your final thoughts?
Be safe on your trip, man. Come back.
Thank you very much. I'll be back in maybe less than 2 weeks. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see how long Extreme Rules is, and we'll play it by ear. So make sure to follow us on the social media to know when the next show is. But for Darryl Bullock, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard, and we will catch you soon.